Hello everyone and welcome to Mathematics, where this channel is able to help you to build up your habit in completing a question a day in mathematics. Right, so for this video we will look at 2022 Selangor paper 2 question 5, and this question is from Form 5 chapter 1 circular measure. So before we begin, you all can have a look at this question and you can try it by yourself first. So let's go into step number 1 first, which is to highlight the important points. So the first important point would be this. We have a regular heptagon shape. So regular here meaning all the sides of the heptagon is the same. And this heptagon is actually inside a circle with radius 5 cm. So if I'm able to draw it out, it will be something like this. So in this circle there is a heptagon, and this circle has a radius of 5 cm. And they used a black tie rope to make this heptagon star and 3 arcs of the circle. So the 3 arcs of the circle is this. So let's go to part A and go into step number 2, which is to find the problem. So the problem here is to find the angle AOB. So if I'm able to draw this AOB angle out, it would be here. But the issue is here we have insufficient information to help us find this angle. So what we need to do is to change our angle a bit. Instead of looking in this circle view, which are we looking now, we can use the heptagon view. So if I want to view AOB in this heptagon, it will be something like this. But since this is a regular heptagon, means this heptagon can be split into 7 identical parts. And since we only need to find this angle here, which is one part of the 7 heptagon parts, we can add up all the angles of the 7 parts, which is 360, to multiply with 1/7. So here our working would be 360 degrees times 1/7. Because we only need one part of the angle. But make sure you note that this question needs in radian, so we cannot use 360 degrees. We need to change it to 2 pi, which is equivalent to 360 degrees. So using calculator, you'll be able to find out that the radian here is 8.977 rad. So make sure it is in 4 decimal place to get accurate results. So as you may notice, for part A, there's only 1 mark. So these kind of 1 mark questions, they don't require a lot of working, but sometimes will be a bit hard to find the answer. So one tip to let you all know is that you can change the point of view from solving this question. Like for example here, from circle to heptagon point of view. Alright, so let's go to part B. And let's go back to step 2. So step 2, the problem here is in order to make this logo, they're asking us, is 1 meter of this rope sufficient? Okay, so here, this means that we need to find the length of the black rope. Right, so let's go to step 3. So we need to identify how many straight lines we need to calculate, how many arcs we need to calculate. So as we know, we need to calculate 3 arcs, but for straight lines, let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3 arcs. Length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So here we need to calculate 7 straight lines and 3 arcs. So this question I will split it into 2 parts, straight line and the arc. So let's calculate this first. So here I will use this shape AGD to help us find the length. So in order to find this length, we need to use the point O. Reason is because if I were to connect A and D to O, we are able to find the radiuses, correct? And these two radius covers this angle here, and this angle is useful to find the length AD using cosine rule. Reason is because this angle is covered by these two radius, AO and OD. So now we have to find this angle. So how do we find it? We can use back the view from the heptagon. So since D is here, this AD involves 3 areas from the whole heptagon. So this one would be from all the angles of the heptagon areas, we multiply 3 divided by 7. And with this angle, we are able to find the length AD using cosine rule. So this is for the straight lines. So for the arcs, I will use this shape, similar to straight lines, but I will choose this sector here. Reason is because it's much easier. They have these radiuses here, and this angle, we already found it in part A, which is 0.8977. Right? It's because AOB and AOD only involves one part of the heptagon. So AOB equals to AOD. So here we can just use the arc length formula, which is r theta. And since we have these two lengths, we are able to find the length of the black rope. So since we have 7 straight lines, we need to multiply 7 with 9.749 plus 3 arcs. So your answer should be 81.01 cm. And since this one is less than 1 meter, this is sufficient. So let's go to the last question and figure out the problem, which is our step 2. So here we need to identify the area painted with yellow. So it is displayed on this diagram. And for step 3, we need to find out the solution. So again, to find areas, we need to find the bigger area minus out the unimportant parts or the smaller areas. And also you may notice in this diagram, the yellow painted areas are all identical. So we just need to find one and multiply by 3. So the big area that I've used here is this sector, AGO sector. You can also use ADG, but for using AOG is much more straightforward. So here I would use the sector AGO minus off the unimportant parts, which is the pink color triangle. To get the the yellow colored area. And remember to multiply by 3 afterwards. So area of the sector, the formula is 1 over 2 r squared theta. So here the radius are 5. And the angle that we found in part A is 0.8977. Minus off the area in this triangle from chapter 9, 1 over 2 AB sine C. So the lengths here are 5 and 5, and here we already found the angle, but the problem is it's from radian, so we need to find the degree format because we have sine here. So here we just need to change 2 pi to 360 degrees and divide by 7. So here you will get 4.345 cm squared. And with that, we have completed this question. Right, so the take-home point for this video is to split big problems into smaller parts to solve. So you can take question B as an example. So we need to find the black rope's length. So we split it into 2 parts, straight lines and arcs. So we use different ways, different formulas to find the lengths of different types of lines. And once we do that, we have to add it up together to solve the problem. So sometimes we need to segregate the big problem into smaller parts for easier solving. Okay? So if you are interested in this answer scheme, please click the link in the video description below, and you feel this is beneficial to you, please give a like and subscribe and share it to your friends and classmates. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you.